Your favorite festival brand is starting a YouTube channel. Now, you might be thinking, why am I doing this? Because I shared a lot of Instagram stories the other night about like the start of my business, just how True Colours got started, why I started, and like the whole like process of how I got to where I am right now, which is still very much in the hustle stage. And you guys loved it. Like, you hadn't got to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and I feel like on Instagram and TikTok you do get to see a lot of like a very polished version of like the business and everything that I put out. But I wanted to do something a little bit more fun, get to show you guys behind the scenes of everything. It's not going to be very like polished and pretty like all the stuff that gets shared on Instagram and TikTok. It's just going to be a lot of behind the scenes of what goes into True Colours. And also I have some exciting news. Me and my partner are going to be moving over to Bali for a couple of months. Mostly just to work on stuff for True Colours, because I want to do a lot of new stuff. I have a lot of big goals for this year. We want to do some swimwear, some casual stuff. Obviously going to be slaying the festival game as per usual. But my manufacturer is actually over in Bali, so I have a lot of work to do before we leave with like making new styles, new samples, a lot of pattern testing to do. So I wanted to kind of take you guys along in the process of doing that and show you what goes into like making a new collection, making new pieces, testing new pieces. So yeah, I thought that would be fun if I shared that with you. So basically what I'm doing today is I'm testing out a bunch of new patterns. So I've printed a heap of them off. Usually I'll start with like a base pattern that I can purchase online. Like, I purchase patterns from Etsy all the time, and then I'll change them and make them kind of, I don't think I've ever kept a pattern exactly the same as when I bought it, like unless it's like a basic triangle bikini top or something. I always end up changing them because I just want to make little adjustments, make them a little bit better. So that's what we're going to do. So while I'm doing these patterns and cutting them out and putting them all together, I thought I would kind of go over how everything got started for True Colours and like the little bit of process and where we're at currently and where I want to go. Because I feel like you see a lot of businesses, like especially on TikTok and stuff, that are very established and they're showing you like a very polished, perfect, like they're in their warehouse and they're like shipping out a million orders and stuff like that. So, which is definitely the goal, but I wanted to just share with you like along the process of making that happen and not showing such a like perfect idealized version of a business. I just want to keep it super real with you guys, and in the interest of keeping it real. So this is where we're living at the moment. We are living with my partner's dad because we moved back from Victoria. So this is a little look at the shared office space that I'm currently using. So this is like where all my sewing stuff is. So obviously I am sharing this space with my partner's dad, so he does like all his computer stuff over there, and I used to have all of my shipping stuff here in all of these like tubs and stuff, but I have actually got someone else sending out my orders for me, which is awesome because I was spending a lot of my time doing that. So yeah, like obviously this is not the perfect setup, but this is making it work. This is like hustling, trying to get to where we want to get to. But in saying that, having your own space for your business would be amazing, which is what we're trying to work towards. If you haven't tried these, they are literally thebomb.com. I have 3 patterns. I printed out like 3 patterns before my fucking printer ran out of ink. So I have this really cute little like romper, kind of like the jumpsuit that I have, but it's like more of a singlet one, which I think would be good because I feel like, I don't know, if it's hot, it gets a little bit hot when you've got like little sleeves on, and it's a very different style to the jumpsuit that I already have. So I've got that, and then I've also got a really cute little like flouncy sleeve top, and it's got like a little circle in the middle that's a drawstring. It's very different to anything else that I have on the website at the moment. So I've got that I want to trial, and then what else do I have? I have like a little side tie sarong, so it's kind of like a beach cover up. Because, like I said, we're thinking about doing some swimwear stuff. So the reason we want to move to Bali is because actually in 2020, we had packed up all our stuff and we were ready to go over there. We had our suitcases packed, we'd moved out of our house, and then of course, COVID happened. So the day that they cancelled flights to like anywhere was actually the day we were scheduled to fly to Bali. So we ended up having to move in with his mum, and we stayed like that. My partner Tyrone, we stayed with his mum for a little while, like quite a few months, obviously just in the whole lockdown thing. And then we moved into our own place again, got a rental, and obviously we had to kind of keep working because you've gone through so much money being in lockdown and stuff. After lockdown in Queensland, my partner actually got offered a job down in Victoria, which was supposed to be like good paying money, and it was a way to like build up our savings so that we could go over to Bali again. So instead of him working away, which he had been doing quite a lot of, I just said that I would get a retail job down there. So we moved all of our stuff, like sold everything, moved to Victoria, to this tiny little like coastal town. And then when we got there, like we were there for about a month before the job started, and then when the job was supposed to start, it actually got cancelled because of COVID. So I don't know what the exact reasoning was, but I know it was because like stuff couldn't go ahead because of COVID and because like lockdowns had started in Victoria again. So we'd kind of been lifted out of a lockdown, which is when we moved down there, and then we got put back into like another 6-month lockdown, which was a struggle. So during this lockdown, I started like using what very little money I had to buy like little bits of fabric, like literally 1 meter or 2 meters of fabric to make one outfit, and then I would make one TikTok or multiple TikToks about that outfit. So fast forward like a couple of months, the lockdown is lifting and I applied for a retail job, and on the day that I got my retail job, one of my TikToks went viral, like super viral. It went from like me getting 200 views on all my TikToks to like, I think it got like 350,000 views, which was crazy. And then obviously from there, it wasn't just like all smooth sailing and gravy, but that kind of like gave me a little kick off for True Colours for sure. And then I was like, oh, I've got a taste for this now. And I was like, oh man, like this could be, people really like this stuff, because I was just making like what I wanted to make. I didn't even think about whether it was cool to other people. I just was like doing me basically. You guys were loving the outfits even way back then. So yeah, like literally on that day, stuff started going viral, and I had already just set up my website. So it was like incredible timing. And so I think I only stayed in that retail job for like literally maybe 2 months. And it was so scary because like I wanted to quit so bad. Basically wanted to quit straight away because I was like, I just want to do True Colours and I want to do sewing. And I couldn't. And every time I went into work, it felt like it was like literally killing me because it was so boring. And I had somewhere that I wanted to be. I wanted to be doing this like amazing sewing and like really exciting stuff. So I think it was like around Christmas time, I ended up just telling them, I wasn't working very much anyway, because hello, it's retail. I ended up just being like, look, you know, I think it was on a day that I got like 4 orders and I was like, oh my God, like this is taking off. So I ended up just like texting my manager and I was like, look, I quit. Anyway, so from then on, I was like full-time on True Colours, which was awesome. And I was pretty used to living on like literally nothing, because obviously we'd been through like COVID and we couldn't get the COVID payments because we had left our jobs voluntarily, which was shit. So I was used to not living on very much. So like literally everything I made in True Colours, I just poured straight back into it. And I kept doing like TikToks and stuff, and it actually started to grow like fairly quickly from there. So that was definitely a very pivotal moment. And then basically from there, I just hustled for like the next, I think it was like 6 months or something, just hustling, like getting as many orders as I possibly could, kept doing TikToks like every single day. If I wasn't sewing, I was making TikToks, and there was just no in between. Like I worked constantly, and my back, I was like literally shaped like a shrimp from sewing so much. I still am. And then I kind of got to a point where I realized like this is taking off and it's getting really busy, and I'm not going to be able to continue doing this for the rest of my life. So we actually have a friend, like a family friend who knows stuff about manufacturing and stuff and has a contact over in Bali. So that was like a massive help for me, obviously, just knowing someone who could kind of help me with that. So I packed up all my patterns and fabrics and everything. You have to make like a sample of what, for my manufacturer, they want a sample of the item and then obviously your patterns, and then they will do like your tech pack and everything from that. So you can't just be like, oh, this is a drawing of what I want and they make it. Like you have to literally make the sample. So for my manufacturers, you have to like know how to sew, but I know there's a lot of manufacturers out there where you can kind of just give them a sketch of what you want. You don't actually have to know how to sew, but it's very helpful because you know if they're doing something wrong. So yeah, I like packed up all my stuff. We took it over to Bali. We got samples of everything made. So all of my styles that I had, I took them over, and then they made a sample of everything, and then we kind of made the adjustments that we needed to make. And then we did the first ready to ship collection, which was super exciting. For the ready to ship collection, because we went over to Bali in June or July, I think, to advertise that collection, I had to come back to Victoria and shoot everything in Victoria, and it was the middle of winter, and I was trying to shoot like a festival collection, which is basically like, let's be real, there's not a lot of clothing going on. And it was like 4 degrees outside, so all of my TikToks were, I'm like super happy and I'm like in the sun. I would literally like run back inside and like get under the heater, and I was like and I was like constantly battling the weather, because where we were living was literally the shittest weather. Like, I don't know why anyone lives there. It's like in the middle of nowhere, nothing to do, the worst weather in the world. It's so windy, so cold all the time, like year round. We never used the air conditioner because it was freezing all year round. But yeah, I'm advertising this collection in the freaking winter, and then Tyrone's dad was like, look, I've got a spare room if you want to come back to Queensland, because obviously we didn't want to be in this town. We had no reason to be there because the job didn't go ahead, and we were like, get me out of here. So packed up everything, packed up all my sewing stuff, and this is right when I was like just about to do this collection. So we actually released the first ready to ship collection while I was road tripping back to Queensland. So we were staying in this like really fucking shitty motel, and I like had my laptop set up because obviously it's all online. So I had everything ready to go on the website, but it was so scary because the internet was like barely working, and I was just trying to make sure that everything was like right on the website. All the products were showing up. Obviously now I'm a lot less stressed because I've done it a few times and I know that everything's going to be there when it's supposed to be there, because if you have it at a certain drop time, you have to make sure every product is scheduled to go up at that exact time. And I was like stressing out, like I was literally, after we had that collection drop, we came back to Queensland, and we've kind of set up here like temporarily until we were ready to like go to Bali. It feels like we've been talking about going to Bali for like 1,000 years, and it's worked out super well, because now I'm at a point where I really want to do a lot of new stuff with the manufacturer, but it's so hard to do it like when you're in separate countries. Like when we were over there, it was super easy. It was like snap. Like I'd say this needs to be changed, they change it, and then they get back to me straight away. Whereas like now I have to kind of do everything over text message or like via phone call, and it's really hard to explain that you want like a certain seam moved over like this much, and like it just gets really confusing. And then they'll be like, oh, this is what you asked for, and you're like, that's not what I asked for. But when you're over there, it's so much easier. And also like when they finish a sample, you got to wait for them to ship the sample to you, and then if the sample is wrong, then they've got to make another sample, ship that sample to you again. Whereas when you're over there, you can just go in, have a little try on and say, look, this needs to be changed very quickly. But yeah, that's my goals. That's what I'm working on. That's what I should be doing, even though I'm just chatting. So yeah, that's basically the plan for the next couple of months, is to go over to Bali. We don't have like a set in stone plan, really. But we know that we want to spend a little bit of time over there, and it's going to be really good for me to just put all of my energy into True Colours, and to have my partner, my fiance Tyrone, to actually help me, because a lot of the time when I'm shooting content with like just my tripod, and like it's so hard to do everything by yourself. It's so much easier to have someone there to help you, and then a lot of like website back-end stuff as well he'll be able to help me with, because I literally just work 24/7. So I am cutting out my pattern now in an extra small. I always sample everything in an extra small, and then I make any changes that I need to make to it, and then when I take it to my manufacturer, they just grade it from all the changes that I've made, so that I don't have to like recreate that pattern in every size, because that would be a nightmare. Hopefully I didn't just talk way too much. I usually do, but we're going to keep cutting these out, and then we're going to try a new style, which is exciting. Parent trap, of course. Well, I cut all this stuff out, and this is pretty much what I do. Okay, I've cut everything out, and now it is time to pick a fabric from my many fabrics. So the rule of thumb for me tends to be that if I make it out of a fabric that I really like and would like it to turn out well, it doesn't work. So if I make it out of a fabric that like I'm okay if it's not quite right and I have to throw it away, then it seems to work. So take from that what you will. That seems to happen to me every single time. So like, for example, I freaking love this fabric and I would love to make the top out of this, but if I make the top out of this, it won't work. But if I make it out of something that I've only got like, you know, a tiny bit left of and it doesn't really suit the style, like something like this, love this fabric, just doesn't really suit the top that I am making, it will probably work. But I don't know if there's enough here of that one. So let's see what else I've got. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Flower Bomb fabric. I've only got like maybe like just under a meter of this left, and it's perfect because I have used this fabric for a collection before, so I am a little bit sick of it. So it's okay, I'm not gonna make something for myself out of this. I'm happy to just use it for this, and then if it turns out perfect, then I'll use that as the sample to give to the factory. So alright, so I've started working on this pattern, and as I suspected, it is going to be a little bit too big because the pattern was, like initially the pattern was supposed to be a woven fabric. So stretch fabrics, you kind of have to make them quite a bit smaller because they are going to stretch. Woven fabrics don't stretch at all. So I'll show you what it looks like. Obviously I haven't done the whole top yet, but basically like it's going to come and meet in the middle, and then it's going to have like a little string in the middle. So there needs to be like quite a big space so that when the string pulls it together, you get that nice little circle. But right now, like it's literally already meeting up. So it's not even like, this is just relaxed, like it's not stretching at all. So to hold everything up and just for it to look nice in the middle, it needs to probably finish about here so that then when you like pull it together, it not only pulls everything in, but you get that like circle in the middle of the top. Yeah, if I'm really lucky, I might just be able to like cut smaller pieces from this piece. If not, I'll just have to use more of that fabric. So this is where we're at currently with the top. So I didn't completely finish it because I can see already that it's not 100% what I want it to be, and I'm gonna need to change a few things. So like, first of all, obviously like I'm quite a big titty gal. So this style is not a lot of support up here because it's kind of just like a strapless style, and usually I like something that will like lift the girls up. However, I think I can fix that by this being shorter. I kind of knew when I was cutting it out that I was like, oh, it's 20 centimeters of elastic, and usually I make my straps like 8 or 9 inches just so that they're really nice and tight and they lift the girls up. I don't know about you guys, but every time I buy tops, I feel like straps are always too long, and if I can't adjust them, I'm like, this is not doing anything. So obviously, like, I'll fill this out quite a lot, and this is an extra small, so I think it needs to be a little bit tighter here, so that means I need to make it even smaller than what I just did. Obviously I made it a bit smaller so that it fits around here, so I think we need to take that like tighter and then lift this up a little bit more, and then it should be perfect. But it's a very, very cute style if I can get it perfected. And then elastic goes through this part of the sleeve, so it's like one of those little sleeves that do that, like it's like kind of like a puff sleeve, but not really. It just grips at the bottom there. Take 2, take 3. We've got to make this top all over again. And this is the current state of my sewing room. So yeah, that's what it looks like in the design process. Definitely not an aesthetically pleasing area. Ta-da! We have our final result. I think it turned out really cute. I have adjusted it so it fits a lot better on the boobies now, and it will fit a lot better if you have a smaller chest as well. I think this is really, really fun. It's definitely very different to what I normally do, and it's definitely, I would say, more suited to my like smaller titty girls, which I definitely need to do more styles like that. I like the sleeves like this. They're really nice and tight, and you can wear them off the shoulder if you wanted to. I won't do that because I really like things to be lifted up. But yeah, let me know down below what you think of the top, if you think I should put it in my next collection. Okay, so I ended up doing a draft number 3 because after I posted it on my Instagram stories, you guys all said that you preferred the flouncy sleeves, so I thought I was finished with the second one, but then you all voted and said that you liked the flouncy sleeves better, which honestly, after making this one, I definitely agree. So now that I'm happy with the top and how it turned out, all I have to do is make a hard copy of the pattern, like a cardboard copy of the pattern, and then I take the sample and the copy of the pattern over there. So I'll show you what the pattern looks like once I've like finished the hard copy of it. Good morning everyone. It is now Wednesday and we're taking a small break from designing because we are taking a little trip to the VET because someone, I don't want to say who, but someone has got terrible breath. So we are taking a little trip there, and then when I get back I've got a meeting with my marketing consultant. So I just thought I would share a little bit of my day with you. We are back and I'm doing some work. We're trying to decide what the next collection is going to be. I had a meeting with my marketing consultant just before, and then we actually set up another meeting because there was too much to go over. So I'm having another meeting in a minute. But basically I'm trying to pick what is going to be in the next collection, and obviously you guys have been absolutely loving the big floof outfit, so that's like one of my main priorities. But unfortunately getting a hold of this stuff is literally impossible, and each one of those outfits I think uses about 8 meters of that, which is actually quite a lot of fluff to use and to get shipped overseas, and even just to get a hold of it, it's really hard to get like large quantities of this. Everywhere that I've contacted only seems to have smaller quantities, and then I'm trying to contact, I've got like different suppliers for different fabrics, so then I'm trying to match, like they're like, oh I only have this much of this color, so then I'm trying to see if my other fabric supplier has got a matching fabric that will go with that, and then I can get the same amount of quantities and get them shipped and get them there as fast as possible, obviously, because the pink collection has done really well, but a lot of the items are selling out really fast, so I've got to try and get on to the next thing. So I have picked, this is one of the colors, so it's got a little bit of sparkle in it. So I picked that one, and wait, I don't know if I can tell you this. I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to actually give away what the outfit is, but that is the color of the fluff. I'll give that much away. And then I'm also like looking at my fabric samples. So basically I'm doing themed collections. So this is one of the samples for the themed collection, and I'm actually going to do a part 1 and part 2 to that collection, just because I have so many ideas and I've trialed so many really good fabrics that I know you guys are going to love. So basically I've just been sitting here trying to organize all the fabrics because I get these digitally printed, and then all of the plain fabrics, they come from somewhere else, and then this comes from Australia and costs a fortune to get sent over there, but that's fine because it's definitely worth it. It's just all part of the process. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, but I think I've got the collection, I'm doing like a little pop-up collection with like a couple of little surprise items. I just am going to get that done first because it's going to take me a little bit longer to sort out this stuff and the next like themed collection. And the next themed collection is going to be the hippie or trippy collection, because I've got so many like really cool hippie fabrics, but I want to do like trippy, like some darker stuff, because I think we're a little bit over the pink. Obviously I'm not over it, I love it, love pink, but I think we need to have a little bit of a change on the website as far as what's available. So I'm going to do a 2-part to that one because I've got so many ideas. And then I'm also, obviously like I said, working on like what casual pieces I'm going to have, what swimwear pieces I'm going to have. So there's definitely a lot going on. But yes, I've just sorted out what the first thing I'm going to do is, which is like these really cool, I've got these really cool tie-dye fabrics, and that's going to be like a little pop-up drop as a little surprise for you guys. And so now that I've got that organized, I can go back to like my marketing meeting and work out what we're going to do for the next couple of weeks of content. And that's where we're at.
A quick 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was very quick. I've got a lot done.
Spend time going through content now?
Yeah. I went over, I just did a quick list of everything that's working on the 2 different platforms.
And I've seen a number of other creators talk about that as well, where it's like, just because you're not getting, like there's a difference between social media people that are following, focusing on views and like...
Yeah, well they don't directly translate. Like when I'm on a roll, I'm on a fucking roll.
But then, do you find when you need to put content up and you haven't
planned anything? Alright, hello guys, happy Thursday. I thought I would give you an update on where we're at for the week. So I got a little package delivery yesterday, and it included this dress, which is a sample of a dress that I have been trialing. So basically what I'm doing right now with the patterns and sending them off, they then will like use my pattern and send me a sample, and then I confirm if I like it and if everything's right. And then if I confirm it, then we can go ahead and use that pattern. And if it needs any changes, then I have to tell them the changes and they have to make me another sample and send it to me. So it's quite a process to get something confirmed. So I got this one, and then I also did the, because we want to do the big floof sets, because up until now I've just been making all of them. I've got the bikini top, obviously this is the small, it's not my size. And then we also did the puff sleeve dress. So I asked on my Instagram stories which ones you guys prefer, and you guys do prefer to the ruffle sleeve one, which I feel like I am leaning more towards the ruffle sleeve, just because like if it's really hot, like your armpits can breathe. But the puff sleeve is super cute as well. Like it gives me like that kind of cottagecore sort of vibe, which is super cute. I do have both options, so I can decide later what I want to do, or if I want to do maybe like one of each. Wrap skirt, so they just use fabric that I already have there, so I had a little bit of this green gingham fabric left over. So this is the wrap skirt, that is the fluff set. Obviously I didn't make them put the fluff on it because they've done it before and I know they're not going to get it wrong. So it's a bit of an unnecessary waste of fluff fabric, the fluff trimming, because it's expensive. And then the top, the flared top. So these are all my samples that I got that I confirmed. All of them are perfect, which I'm super happy about. So we can just go ahead with production for those. And then I've been working on new styles as well, like I said. So I started working on these really cute little swimmer bottoms. I'm just trying to see if that's the front or the back. So this is the front. So they're like a high-waisted swimmer bottom. They've got a little bit more coverage than my other high-waisted swimmer bottoms, and they've got like a cute little band at the top there, which I really like. It's really nice and stretchy and comfy. And then for ages I wanted to do like a built-in swimmer bottom, like with a little skirt. So this is the same pair of swimmer bottoms, but it's got like a little mini skirt on top of it, and then it's got the little bottoms underneath built in, and then the same really cute little waistband, which I think is super cute. And then a style that you guys have been asking me for, which is more styles that go over the shoulder, instead of tying at the neck, which I completely understand, because my neck, when I was in Bali, I got a bruise on the back of my neck from wearing my bikini for too long, because like obviously like when you're holding quite a bit of weight on the back of your neck, it does get super sore. So I want to have as many options as I can. Obviously when you're going to a festival or something, if you want the girls to be looking amazing, you're going to want to wear like a halter neck top, but some people it's just too uncomfortable for them, which I totally get. So I've done this cute little style. This one has got a little drawstring in the front. I'll see if I can get a little bit closer to show you. And it's basically like a sports bra. So this is very similar to the cutout crop. It's got those over the shoulder straps, really nice and like lifting and supportive. I love this one. I reckon this is probably going to be my new favorite top. Then, you know how I showed you and I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy I finished this little top. That was like the last clip, I think. I was like, oh, I finished the little top with the little frills. I was wrong, because I came back in here and I was like, yay, I finished my sample, I finished my pattern, and I realized that I'd accidentally made a very small mistake that's not noticeable, so the top still wears beautiful. But obviously when you're sending it to the manufacturer, it has to be like dead on perfect. There can't be any mistakes, because they're going to make it hopefully exactly like you made it. And I was like, oh, so I had to make a whole new top, just for like one tiny little mistake, which was very frustrating. But I ended up, this is the final draft, and I had to make it out of a fabric that I was really hoping to save for myself. So that's sad, because when I give this to the manufacturer, I'll literally never see it again. And it's such a cute top, like, because they usually hold on to it, just to kind of have something to go off of, and then they keep the sample that they make as well, unless they send it to me. So they'll like make 2 samples, send one to me. I don't know what the process is, but most of the time I never see these items ever again, and it's such a cute top. I wanted to keep it for myself. But yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at for the week. And then today is the day I need to make the custom one-of-a-kind pieces. So I thought I would take you along with me while I do that. And I obviously make a TikTok when I make the custom one-of-a-kind pieces. So I've got to try and remember to video for you and then video for that. So videoing myself So yeah, it's all happening today. I'm very excited about the new designs, and I'm going to try and get those sent off so that they can be in the next drop. So while I'm still working on the other new designs that I have, I'll get those sent off so that by the time I'm going over to Bali on the 5th of May, hopefully those samples I can try on and confirm, and then I can put them in the next drop. Because whenever I do new stuff, you guys want it straight away. Like, I posted that cute little frilly top, which I totally get it. It's super cute. And you guys were like, when is this going to be on the website? Is this available now? I want one of these today. And then even the lady at the chiropractor's office, she was like, I love that little top. When can I order that? And I was like, oh my God, just give me 2 minutes to get it all sorted out. So I totally get it because it's a super cute top, but I know you guys like things really quickly, and I like to get them done really quickly for you as well. So now, I'm not even going to lie to you, I have not picked out the fabric that I'm going to use for the custom one of a kind. Obviously, you guys know I've been super busy. So I know I've got a ton of fabrics that are really pretty, but I've just got to decide what I'm going to do, what I'm going to use. So I have so much in here that I can choose from, but I was thinking, like, I do have an inkling of what I want to use. This was all really nicely folded too, like a week ago. So I've got a little bit of this, which I have on the website, and I had the skirt and the cutout crop, and obviously it has sold out. It's sold out in like very little time. I think I've only got a few skirts left, and maybe like the top in an extra small and an extra large possibly. That's at the moment. And then I also have this, which I'm really keen to put in one of my next collections, but I do have a meter here that I can use. And whenever if I'm going to use this fabric, I'll make a style that I'm not going to put into the next collection, if that makes sense. So it's still a one of a kind. But I mean, I do have other options. I've got this. I'm really secretly wanting to keep this for myself and make something for myself, but I think there's like 3 meters here, so there's definitely enough for me and to make an outfit. But I've done so much pink stuff lately, I'm really trying to stay away from anything with pink in it. And then I also have this fabric, which is gorgeous. It's like a very, it's very different than what I usually do, but it's a really nice like florally fabric. I feel like it would be cute in like a flow skirt or some flares or something like that. But those will definitely be coming up in the next couple of weeks anyway. It is everybody's favorite time of the week. It is time to make the custom one of a kind piece. So this is me filming myself sewing. So that is it in there now. So it literally fits in there perfectly, and then you've got right sides together, and then all you have to do is serge all the way around there, and then your arm sleeve is in. And this is it. So this is the custom one of a kind piece for this week. You guys absolutely love this purple plaid. And I did some shorts and a bikini top and a little like t-shirt shrug, which I think looks really cute as a full fit. Hello guys, I'm back. It is Friday, and I remembered that I said I was going to show you guys the hard copy of the pattern, which I totally forgot to do. So this is basically what I send off to my manufacturer. It's all the pieces that you need to create the pattern, the top, and then I send off the sample as well, and then they check the pattern against the sample and they make sure they're exactly the same, and then they make me a sample of their copy so that I can try it on, make sure it's all good. And now I'm just about to go meet a friend for lunch, so I'm wearing this as my casual outfit today. I do sell it as a festival outfit, but I sell them all the time as casual outfits. So we've got the skirt, can't go wrong, and then I'm also wearing my Converse. And yeah, I think I'm going to finish up the video here. Let me know if you guys did enjoy it, what sort of stuff you want to see more behind the scenes on, and if you want to see more like this, you are going to have to subscribe, so make sure you hit that button. Feels really weird to say that, and I'll see you in the next one.